Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk podcast here every Tuesday and Friday. I'm Ollie Davis. I'm joined by Luke Owen, DAD. We will be reviewing Raw and everything John Cena in this episode. But first, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. That could be on YouTube. That could be on Apple Podcasts, of which I am now. I've made the jump from Android to iPhone.
But you were a Spotify podcast user. So, which you can obviously still do on an iPhone. Have you made the jump from Spotify to Apple Podcasts?
I thought I would do. It's too much change. It's too much change. I'm not dealing well with this, so I'm just trying to stick to as many apps that I know. Yeah. I've realised that change is such a difficult process for anyone to go through. It tricks you into blaming the device not the process of change.
You did message me yesterday annoyed at how much different the iPhone was to Android. You said, I feel like an old man. Yeah. I can't get this thing to work.
Yeah, here's me, a 37-year-old guy, blaming what is probably one of the most advanced consumer products in the world.
Yeah, that is more powerful than the computers that sent us to the moon.
It's incredibly well designed.
Directed by Stanley Kubrick.
It's incredibly well designed and put together, yet here I am thinking it doesn't work properly. Because of change.
Shout out, though.
It's a me problem.
Big shout out, though. You have got a phone that does match your jumper. Look at that.
Where is it? Where is the phone?
Don't rub it on yourself. You get the 5G all over you.
Yeah, I try to change my phone up every couple of weeks. You know, sustainable me. And Spotify, of course. You can also get the podcast on Spotify. And exciting news from Rahanaman Manth, who says, I'm currently a surgical trainee, and during an operation, the lead surgeon asked me what I do for my hobbies. Just as I was about to say wrestling, I noticed the bowel loops formed an odd image. No way. I proceeded to then unscrub out of surgery and grab my phone to take a picture. And yes, everyone, the bowels did form a QR code to this very podcast.
What I really appreciate about that is that they went out, scrubbed down, and then went and got their phone. Yeah. They didn't just grab their phone out of their pocket, contaminating a lot of things. That is responsible behavior.
Yeah, so we are now sponsoring bowels, specifically to target the medical community, because they're big spenders.
I don't know if these two things are connected, but I do have a legit QR story to tell, because someone messaged me, and I think they actually left a comment on the Friday show saying, I'm going to the Rev Pro show in Sheffield at the weekend, and I'm taking a sign that's got a QR code on it that will link people to the WrestleTalk podcast. And then I got a DM on Instagram from Josh Brown, who says, hey, Luke, I'm at the Rev Pro show in Sheffield. I scanned this giant QR code to check the card for today's show, and instead I was taken straight to your guys' podcast. How were you able to pull this one off? Impressive stuff. I don't know if those two stories are connected. Maybe he is just sending me a joke that I was at a Rev Pro show and I scanned a QR code, read this out on the podcast, or he scanned that dude's sign and got sent to our podcast.
The QR code joke / marketing strategy, people thought it was dead, but it kicked out at 2. Yeah. And now it's stronger than ever. Unfortunately, that patient did die, though. Yeah, but we got a couple of new subscribers, and that's all we care about.
Rather than complete the operation, the surgeon left to go get their phone and see if it would scan a QR code instead.
Now, I think that's one of the strongest QR jokes we've had. I know probably a lot of people like, dude, there's so much stuff happened on Raw last night. Why aren't you talking about Raw? But I think as the creator of the QR code, and I've been a fan of it and a practitioner of it, objectively, I have the greatest opinion. Oh, yeah, sorry, we do need to talk about John Cena. Right, so this is John Cena's special episode. It was in Boston.
Yep. Where he's from.
35 miles or something from where he played the football at one point.
Westbury, Massachusetts. I know that place because John Cena is from there.
And the whole first hour of this episode was taken up with a Triple H promo, talking about how great Triple H is.
He's not the focus, everyone. But yeah, they did all of this, and I was like, man, they're going to cut back to, they try to go, Cena, Cena, Cena. And I was like, they're going to cut back, they're going to dip it down, let that crowd just go ever so quiet, then play his music, and it's going to be this ginormous enormous pop. It cuts back to the arena, and it's Triple H's music playing, and he's going to be like, guys, thank you so much for being here. And I was like, oh, you can tell this is a sold-out show. Triple H is out front and center.
Well, we have an established way of these Cena entrances really being good, and it is exactly what you said that we got in that initial heel run. Quiet. It's the calm before the storm in Money in the Bank 2011. It's without the booze.
Yeah.
It's just, and then the hits.
Awesome.
It's really good. But this time, it's Joe Tessitore talking over a montage of here's the football field, here's the college he went to down the road.
Impressively, because of how good WWE are at their video packages and stuff, when he says him and his brothers made cardboard titles, you know exactly the image that he's talking about because it's been in basically every single John Cena video package for 20 years.
This is exactly how they should open the show.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then it cuts, like jump cuts to the ring. Triple H is halfway through the ropes. Bow down to the ground.
Hey guys, really, it's actually about me. I'm the guy that's brought the change around here.
I hadn't thought about it. I just thought this was Triple H being Triple H. But you're right. This is out of the Triple H Hulk Hogan playbook of this is going to be a big episode. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make myself appear on it because then the views and the ratings can be attributed to me.
Well, but like Triple H doesn't make matches on this show. He does backstage in the creative role that he is in as, head of creative and booker and all of that. As an on-screen character, Triple H does not book shows. Adam Pearce books shows. Yeah. If anything, it should be Adam Pearce in this position, not Triple H. But no, guys, I think I should probably be out there.
Yeah, because what happens is Dirty Dom interrupts. He comes down with the IC Championship. Everyone's already thinking, that's the one belt that Cena hasn't won. Mm-hmm. And they make the match. Like Cena says, walk out of here, or,
I'm invincible.
And then Triple H gets right between them and says, well, maybe now's the time, now's the place, blah, blah, blah. Let's have a match right now.
Give me a referee.
You're totally right. That puts the focus, not the whole focus, but it does make Triple H, oh, thank you, Triple H, for giving us this match. Whereas in the kayfabe terms of the Raw world, it should be John Cena saying, how about you put that on the line right now? And Dom's like, no. And then Adam Pearce walks out. It's happening.
Yeah.
Because the heat is then all on Cena.
Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Look, and I'm looking at this from a very funny perspective because Triple H making himself the center of attention when he keeps saying, I don't want to be the center of attention, is among the funniest things in the world, along with him sabotaging Goldberg's retirement, to further an angle that no one bought into. Love all of that. That's the Triple H that I absolutely love. Petty Triple H is among my favorite people. I thought this was awesome overall as a segment. I thought it was overall as a moment. Can I give you 2 quick negatives on it, though?
I mean, I'm not done on the Triple H promo. if you want to give me...
Oh, please, no, the floor is yours. Please, you bury Triple H some more if you like.
So he starts off this promo...
It's like WrestleTalk Extra.
Well, they do the Cena thing. Cena's not here, remember? It cuts to Triple H in the ring. And Triple H goes, it's tough times we live in.
Politically, tough times. Don't know anything about that.
I know, guys. Cost of living's really really expensive.
Ticket prices big, huh?
That ESPN streaming package. Oh, I want to be you guys.
That plus Netflix, whoa.
And then he says, we live in difficult times. Everyone has an opinion. Oh, yeah. I wonder what opinions he's talking about. All of the opinions online over the last 6 months, Triple H has lost it.
Yeah.
Triple H isn't very good at creative anymore.
Yeah, it's like everyone has an opinion. Fans have an opinion. The media has an opinion.
This is John Cena's last show in his home state.
Yeah. But it was all to do a setup to be.
No, it didn't. No, because you're right. That is the leading of the setup to say, but there is one thing we can all agree on.
Yes.
That Cena is the greatest of all time.
Objectively.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's how you do that. And then you just say, The one thing we can all agree on, though, is Cena's the greatest of all time. Cena comes out. But that's not what Triple H did. That was only the first half of his speech. He did the whole thing about opinions. Then he said, there is one thing we can all agree on, but my opinion is the best. Then he went on another 2 minutes of saying how objectively, he said the word objectively 3 times.
Yeah.
When he's actually talking about subjectively.
So yeah, his argument is subjectively anyone can say you're the greatest of all time because you might look at it from an in-ring perspective, your charisma or your ability to sell tickets or your ability on the microphone. All of those things are subjective, but objectively, John Cena is the best at all 4 of those things. So objectively, he is objectively the greatest of all time.
I don't care how many times you say the word objectively. That's not what the word means. What you mean, Triple H, is subjectively. And again, it's Triple H's way of saying, yeah, but I am the most important, informed person, and my subjective opinion is so important, it's actually become the objective reality.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of time in the White House at the moment. Yeah. So, there's a good playbook to take from. I think that it's a bold promo to do as well when you say objectively he's great in the ring, and then he had this match with Dominic Mysterio.
So that's Triple H to one side. I just thought it was hilarious how much of this hour was devoted to Triple H putting over himself and criticizing the fans.
Who are all wrong. Objectively, you're all wrong.
But yeah, then, sorry, do you want to go into the actual Cena part?
I don't want to be the negative voice in the room. I think a lot of the comments on this might think that I am always taking a negative stance on things. I promise you I'm trying not to. I don't go into these with a negative viewpoint. I actually thought this was an awesome episode of Raw, and I thought this moment was awesome. But the thing that I'm coming at from a negative angle is that it's actually from a level of frustration with this, because I think there are 2 things, like objectively, subjectively, I find wrong with this. Number one is that the match itself was the most 2008-2010 you're the worst John Cena match, which is he gets worked over for 95% of the match with his terrible selling, then he just makes his comeback and he wins twice, because he gets a visual a visual win in this, and he gets the actual win in the end. And not only that, he then doesn't sell anything. So he sells none of Dominic's actual offense because none of it affects him when he's making his comeback. He then no-sells Dominic's finisher, just stands up and hits his own finish and wins, then doesn't sell anything from the match in his celebration. So that's a terrible wrestler. That is terrible at using the art of wrestling to tell a story.
But Triple H said objectively, he's the best at it.
This is what I mean. And not all of that is on John, because that's a WWE template. They did it with Hogan. They did it with The Rock. They've done it with a bunch of their top star baby faces. You get worked over for 95% of the match, then you make your comeback and you win. The difference is, when you look at Rock and Hogan, is they sold. They sold the effects of the working over to then make the emotion of the comeback mean something, and you then sell it in the post-match as well when you are celebrating, because you've overcome this huge hurdle. John Cena just wins, stands up, and is fine. He literally said in his promo, I'm invincible.
He's invincible.
I'm invincible. Nothing actually affects me. Fine speech.
He said the thing. He said fine speech. I didn't mind it. This is what we've had this year, and it's 15 years after my intense Cena hatred.
Yeah.
It's easier to just get on board and accept it.
And you're absolutely right. I just find it I find it actually quite hilarious to watch as well. It's like, this is the most John Cena match you possibly could have done in this John Cena retirement year. My actual bigger issue, I suppose, I have with this is when I talk about matches and telling stories within matches, I often get told by people, there's more to wrestling than wrestling. There's the story outside of the matches. So I would say, okay, then what's the story here then?
Dom disrespected him.
But you had the opportunity to tell 2 stories within this title change. Number one, John Cena looking to win the IC title, a title that he's never won. Commentary did that during the match. John Cena never mentioned it in his promo. Triple H never mentioned it in his promo. Dom never mentioned it in his promo. Where's the story in John Cena finally winning this title, it meaning so much to him to finally win this title? Secondly, where's Dom's story in losing this IC title? There's nothing to do with Judgment Day. There's nothing to do with his dad. He's had this title now since WrestleMania, and he's lost it, and it meant nothing. in terms of an overall character and story. He just had a title and then he lost it.
Yes, this is moment booking.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's sort of most effective because it was really enjoyable. It was a really enjoyable moment.
I enjoyed the moment.
When you scrape away at it, there's nothing either beneath it or moving out of the future. Dom's had this since WrestleMania, this belt. He's we've been like, is this going to be the person who beats him? So many feuds. And you're like, well, they've probably got a big end point. Mm-hmm. The report was that at one point Cena was going to face Dom at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that was Meltzer's report from a little while back.
And you could see like, oh, okay, they could start that feud now. They could start telling that story on this episode to build to a match in 3 weeks' time.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, they've changed their plans and they hot-shotted it here. I guess I would have added some Judgment Day interference. Heaven knows there were enough sort of silly angle spots with the referee bump and the visual pins. You could have Judgment Day trying to cost Cena the match, gets more heat on Dom, but Ray stops Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then that also builds the story of Ray versus Dom, which was a match we set up last week. But yeah, it's it's
a missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity, and it does feel like a bit of a, that's the end of Dom's reign?
Yeah. But with all of that said, as a company that books for the moments, this was an awesome moment.
Yeah.
Because this crowd did not care about Rusev versus Damian Priest. They did not care about Stephanie Vacquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. They cared about John Cena defeating Dominic Mysterio to win the IC title. So great. As a moment, love that. And I had a great time with that moment. But yeah, it's when you just then take that step back from looking at it from a micro level on a macro level, you're like, okay, this is probably the bigger problem with the company of just like, you just are booking for moments and aren't capitalizing on really open goal opportunities.
There's a bit of me that feels like, and the Triple H appearance, I think, is evidence of this. WWE see this is the start again. I know we've said so many times, oh, SummerSlam, they'll kick into gear for SummerSlam. Oh, it's WrestlePalooza. They're saving everything for WrestlePalooza. This feels like the start of a big run of shows. So you've got the Cena one here. It's Madison Square Garden next week.
Huge next week.
Well, we'll cover it, but we fully expect Roman Reigns, John Cena, Brock Lesnar to appear on that show. The week after, I think, will just be the go home for Survivor Series. Then you've got Survivor Series. Then you've got an episode of Raw, maybe 2. And then you've got Cena's retirement show. This is a huge 5 to 6 week run of programming. Mm-hmm. And what WWE have done here is they've bottled it all up. So you could treat this as an episode 1. Because Dominic doesn't have that long-running story. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cena doesn't have that long-running story. This what we're talking about took up the first hour of the episode. Half an hour of promo, 25 minutes of which was Triple H, and half an hour for the match. So you could just tune in. Oh, it's a big Cena show. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Boom, you're up to speed. Cena's the champion. It's an episode 1 in a way.
Yeah, every show is someone's first show.
But this is more. This is like DC resetting. It's the new 52. We're starting with issue 1s.
Yeah, it depends on what I suppose the promotion around this show was. If you were trying to appeal to people who might not have tuned in this show, it's like, this is John Cena's last show in Boston. Mm-hmm. And I hope that does mean something to some people.
And the World Series is over as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that concluded.
But that probably will play.
But that was, I think that was, I can't remember if that was going head-to-head with Monday Night Raws.
Maybe, but that probably will play some factor into it. Some baseball people will tell me touchdowns. So, as a moment, I thought this was awesome. Thought this was so...
It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you hate John Cena.
I think it's so awesome as a moment. And actually, crucially, take a drink or a position, I think that it's built to the last match now having more stakes to it than it just being the retirement match of John Cena. The person who is going to win this tournament is then going to be facing Cena for the Intercontinental Championship at Saturday Night's main event. That's really great. And also Cena laid out that the rest of Saturday Night's main event is going to be main roster versus NXT, which I think is an awesome gimmick for that show. So there's a lot of really good positives to take away from this. A lot of them are sort of superficial positives, but I think there are a lot of positives to take from it.
They also announced on this show some more matches for the tournament, and that is Javon Evans versus Gunther. So Gunther is the reported winner. Spoiler. God, now that I like the IC title being involved, and I think, that is one of the main reasons Cena won it now. He was always meant to win it. It seems he would have won it at Survivor Series or now. So it's on the line in that final match. So you don't just make a star in retiring Cena, potentially. They will win this belt as well. Huge deal. But before the IC title was involved, it was like, okay, Gunther being the guy to retire Cena. That sounds good. I think we're all behind that.
It's a classic John Cena match.
And it
overcoming the odds.
Should help Gunther after what's been a bit of 18 months of being off the boil. But then when you add the IC title into it, do I want to see Gunther just go back into the Intercontinental title picture?
Well, you can't just put it back in the world title picture.
I'm less interested in Gunther going through now. And they said that there's 2 mystery slots open. So LA Knights on SmackDown, and next week it will be Solo Sikoa versus mystery opponent at Madison Square Garden. I think it should be Obafemi. Debut him at Madison Square Garden, have him squash Solo, have him squash whoever he faces next, have him go all the way to the final, and have him win in a dominant fashion there as well. And then it's Cena versus Obafemi. Cena spoke so much about wanting to leave this place in a better state than he found it. There's an opportunity here. We thought it was with Bron Breakker. There's an opportunity here to legit make a main eventer.
So,
out of nowhere. 3
things I will say to that. One, while I do agree with you, I think if it was Obafemi, they would just announce it as Obafemi, because they announced Javon Evans of NXT. That makes me think it's an outside the company person. On 1.1 that actually is an addendum to that original point. On Friday, when Aldis announced the surprise person, he was just like, and it will be LA Knight versus. I think I'll save this one, and you can find out on SmackDown. And then when Adam Pearce got his one out, he's like, it'll be Solo Sikoa versus. I think I'll save this one, and you'll find out. And it was the exact same reveal, shot the same way, performed the same way, script the same way, which I thought was very funny. 2, it's in New York. It'll be Matt Cardona. That, to me, makes way more sense to do sort of like as a local town pop thing. Guy from New Jersey in New York.
Yeah.
I think that makes more sense. Might be Joe Hendry on SmackDown this Friday. 3, I don't want Obafemi to come in and just be leveled at the Intercontinental Championship picture. You have an opportunity with a guy like Obafemi to just bring him in and make him a main event straight away, rather than doing this Bron Breakker style thing we've actually been criticizing the company for, which is just bringing someone up to the main roster and then spending 5 years toiling in the mid-card when you're already established to be a dominant force and just put straight into the main picture.
I don't know, man. I think winning the IC title and retiring John Cena is enough of a push.
Well, I mean, it did,
from out of nowhere.
Squashing John Cena did so much for Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, because there was no follow-up. And I don't think you should squash John Cena in that match. That should be the standard 25-minute John Cena match.
Okay, so, but you're putting okay, I've just given you an example there of, they gave the guy that big moment and it meant nothing for him. But your counter there was like, but they might do it this time, man.
Yeah,
but
do it better.
But they've got a track record of not doing it better.
Oh, okay, you're right. So why should we care whoever does it? Let Joe Hendry win it then.
I'm not saying that it doesn't matter who wins. I'm just saying that if you've got Obafemi, I would bring him in straight as a main eventer and have him in the world title picture. And on top of that, if Obafemi's not going to win, don't put him in the tournament, because you have to have him lose.
Well, that's why I would say have him win.
I think Gunther is winning. I think this is set in stone, and no one else will do this because apparently it's bad to do so. Credit to Meltzer, because he reported this ages ago, that it was going to be a tournament, that it was going to be for the IC title, that Cena was going to beat Dom for the IC title, and Gunther is going to win this tournament. If Gunther wins this tournament, that is a straight set of big W's for Big Dave. Not that I think Dave gets everything right all the time, but he is right a good 75-80% of the time. And I think when he does get things right, you should give him some credit for that, as opposed to just thinking he's wrong 100% of the time.
We fooled everyone. We got him. That's why we do what we do.
If Oba wins it and he wins the IC title and they go on a big, they give him the Gunther run, that's a thumbs up from me. I think that's an awesome thing to do. but you've got a bigger opportunity to just have him debut in a main event position. And like, as opposed to just doing the 5 years toiling in the mid card before, not sure if they're ready yet. No, I think we need to give them a bit more time on the boil before we actually put them into the main event. He's not 40 yet. I think we need to wait until he's hit his 40th birthday before we start putting him in the main event.
I disagree. But that's, now we would usually go into your thoughts. However, this is pre-recorded. You might have noticed the last 3 weeks we've done this not as a live stream like we normally do. And that's because first I was ill. Then we were catching up with all the things that we had to do when I was ill last week. And then we found, the Raw review episodes, if they were pre-recorded on the podcast, the mysterious algorithm seems to be favouring them. Yeah,
it's a bit of an experiment phase for us. Like, it wasn't an intentional experiment for us, but we think, and the figures are proving to us, that YouTube are no longer favouring live stream things and are favouring pre-recorded things instead. So when we put the pre-recorded podcast up, they have performed better into the almighty algorithm than if we'd live streamed them. So it's kind of doing this as a bit of a, that's an interesting thing. Shall we test this out a little bit?
I think live stuff works great for live, doesn't work good for on-demand viewing.
Yes.
And the bulk of the people who listen and consume this show, they do it not live.
Yeah.
We're just going to give this a go until the end of the year. It also makes our lives significantly easier because we can plan our days a bit around it. But we do miss the sort of talking back and forth with the audience. That is a big benefit of live. So what we're going to do from next week on the Patreon, we're just going to put a post on there, and if you're a Patreon, rather than Super Chat, because you'd always have to pay for Super Chatting, all Patreons can now just put in their comments on that post, and we'll read out the best ones.
Yeah, so rather than paying $5 a week to have your message read out, you can just do one payment, and you can have 4 weeks' worth of messages potentially read out.
Yeah. And you could also get a shout-out on this very show like Big Jiggy Josh Martin.
Born to do it, Evan Shibley.
John's better beefier brother, James Morrison.
Abominable Michael Abbott.
The Ring Rust Warrior Rustage.
Izola J. Irizarry is scary.
B. Bob and Rob Steedley.
The Machine Gun, Alex Anderson.
He's a sexy man. Not an Andrew Gross man.
Balding Brummy, Brett Linforth.
Flavor Flav Letterman.
Flavor Flav. And Go Ace, the Ace of Spades, Adrian Santil.
Well, we've done most of Raw anyway, because that's like half of the show.
So do we want to just quickly talk about War Games then?
Well, we'll get on to War Games, won't we?
Okay, fair enough.
So we had the Damian Priest versus Rusev match, which was the first match in the last Time Is Now tournament. Not really anything to write home about, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a match, and Rusev just won out of nowhere. He basically dominated.
Yeah.
Priest is selling the eye from the Aleister Black attack from SmackDown.
I always get excited about the idea of a tournament, and then the first match is like, oh, okay, it's an angle. Well, it's mostly just to tell a story and another thing.
Do you know why you might also not be excited about this tournament? And this is the point I raised last week. What are the brackets?
Yes.
Because they're like, Rusev advances. To face who? I don't even need to know who he's facing, because obviously this is the first match, but a potential of who. Is he facing the winner of the other match that was on this show? Is he facing one of the other brackets? How many people are in this tournament? This is a badly laid out tournament.
We cut backstage. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles are talking to Adam Pearce. I misheard Dragon Lee. You corrected me in my notes, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's good. Otherwise, I would have done a whole bit on Dragon Lee's suggestion.
Well, okay, so yesterday when I was reading through your script, I saw you'd written down Megan Bain and Shayna Baszler as the tag for Collision. And I was like, I mean, it's Marina Shafir. He'll catch that when he's recording, though.
Nope. Ron Burgundy style says exactly what's on the prompter. But Dragon Lee said, well, what I thought he said was, we want to call the tag team Dragons with Smiles. But if that makes no sense, because it's not AJ Smiles.
No, it's AJ Styles.
Dragons with Style.
Yeah, that's what I heard, was Dragon with Styles.
That makes way more sense. And AJ was like, let's work on the name. But then Maxine walks in and says, I am ready. Give me Becky next week for the Intercontinental title.
Also, we're going to find out who that friend was, and we get those training montages that we set up on last week's show.
Well, I think it will be AJ Lee. and she'll interfere some way in this match.
And Maxine's going to win.
I don't know. Maybe AJ will save Maxine from a beatdown from Becky afterwards.
Yeah, maybe.
Do it another way. But then Becky attacked Maxine, staging-wise, in full view of Maxine.
Oh, yeah. And Adam Pearce did not come back to check up on me because he literally just left shot. He just walked away.
I bet that is all totally fine. Clatter.
Also, that it was really funny because AJ and Dragon Lee were like, we're the tag champions. We want to defend these belts. And Adam Pearce was like, I need to find some challenges because I don't know if I've got any other tag teams. So leave it with me. I'll get back to you when you can have some matches.
New Day are screaming silently into a void.
As are the Viking Experience, as are the Creed brothers. Where are they gone?
CM Punk then comes out. There's some new figurines. You know, all your favourites. Dusty Rhodes, John Cena, Logan Paul. They look cool, though. They're mocking they're mimicking, they're homaging the early 90s figures.
LJN are back.
And Punk is angry. He showed great fire here. He called Logan Paul a piece of garbage. He's not going to put his title on the line, but he wants to fight him right now.
Just on the LJN figures, I had real flashbacks to 2010 Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler playing with toys on the commentary desk, being like, wow, look how cool these toys are. Don't you want to buy these toys, kids? Huge flashbacks to that. Then I got them even more later on with the William Regal thing. You may as well have walked up and said, damn.
Because they were the spinning ones, weren't they? Look, these toys play with themselves.
Why do you want to play with these toys? They play with themselves.
It's great. Doing the playing myself was really tiring. But yeah, Punk comes out, he says all that stuff. But the problem with these Logan Paul feuds, for me, other than their Logan Paul, because they are always great matches, I would say, I want the build to be better because there's so much to do a work shoot promo on Logan Paul for, particularly with Punk. Mm-hmm. And Punk does not, for some reason, I guess he can't go there.
Yeah, Dave Bradshaw said this last week. Oh, man, at least the promos will be great. And a Gorilla Positions podcast last week, we were like, man, the promo wars you're going to get between Punk and Logan Paul. If this is the first example of it, it's every WWE promo battle you've ever heard.
Yeah, you cannot reference the hat in the woods.
Yeah. And, what you really want is what Dom did on Logan's podcast. Oh, you ever been to Japan? You should really go. It's a great place.
Screw it, I think Dom should retire Cena. Win back the IC title. He takes someone out of the tournament, test style. So Logan comes out and he says that I've been punched in the face by one of the greatest boxers, pound for pound, of all time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. That was nothing compared to taking a tsunami from Bronson Reed. Wouldn't it be nice to see that, though?
Yeah.
Like maybe he was hobbling. Maybe he showed any kind of selling.
Well, he wasn't selling it last week either, so I don't know why he'd be selling it, the effects of it a week later.
So it's just one of those awkward things of telling and not showing. But he said, it scared me so much, I realized I had to join the Vision, rather be with them than against them.
Which I think is a really good... the logic of it is so... That's very cool, because that really puts over Reed. I'm just like, because he says, you see what happens when you're not with these guys, is they just beat you up every week. I'd rather be with them than against them.
Heyman, Breaker, and Reed come out, and Heyman just cuts a promo on Punk. The sort of promo you want Punk to cut on Logan. You're a rotten person, you betray all your friends. The only way you could be more unlikable is if you were called AJ Lee. And then I wrote a joke, I think Dragons with Smiles would be worse, but it doesn't work because that's not what they said. And then Jey Uso appears.
Last week we were like, why have they just dropped all of the Jey Uso character work they were doing? And I don't know why we didn't think, because it's War Games. Of course they have to drop character work. It's time for War Games.
Well, maybe Roman will come, because Roman did say at WrestlePalooza, it's when I see you boys for Thanksgiving.
This side of Christmas. Don't want to see you.
What side is Christmas on? Where is the dividing line between Christmas side and pre-Christmas side?
But Christmas, I'd imagine. If I see you up until December 24th, that is pre-Christmas. If I see you on December 26th, that is post-Christmas.
But he's going to see them at War Games.
Well, you know, it's he's seen them before Thanksgiving. Maybe Thanksgiving was like a little hurdle. And it's like, now I don't want to see you until Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a special event. This is a special occasion.
So yeah, this was obviously setting up War Games. Jey Uso appeared. Cody Rhodes ran down too, which the crowd popped huge for. Yeah. Although when he appeared backstage earlier to shake John Cena's hand, I'm pretty sure they booed him.
Well, they pop for singing the song. Mm-hmm. They just like singing songs.
Oh, but then they sung Cody Rhodes. And
that's true, actually.
And they sung his entrance music too. Like, I thought he got a huge reaction.
He did, yeah.
And the faces stood tall. War Games.
Yes, there's a segment later on where Punk told Adam Pearce, look, we've got a team. Tell Heyman to get a team together because Mr. Regal, and he walks in and he says, damn.
War Games. Which was cute. It was fun to hear rather, Cena say fine speech and William Regal say War Games on the same episode.
You know, if you are... I was listening to the rest of Entertainment this morning and Marina described Kim Kardashian's new show as it's not straight to TV, it's not straight to DVD, it's straight to GIF. That is what WWE often is. It is just, it's a GIF thing you can put up on Reddit, up on Twitter. That is what this company is looking to do now.
But then, like last week on AEW, Brody King punched through a door and choked out Stokely Hathaway.
And it was awesome. These things are awesome.
Yeah, it's not mutually exclusive of quality.
Look, William Regal showed I said it's cute and it's funny, and I popped for it. It's weird, but it is cute.
So yeah, the rumored War Games team. So Cody is not confirmed, but he was there with Jey and Punk when Punk was like, War Games.
I've got a team.
Yeah.
He's in War Games.
Tell Heyman to get a team. So Heyman's team right now is obviously Breaker, Reed, and Logan.
He's got a new t-shirt out that calls him Captain Rhodes. That's got all like camo on it and stuff. He's in War Games.
That's so lame.
And he's the team captain.
All the reports have called it Team CM Punk.
Yeah, but according to this merchandise, maybe that was original plan. Was it going to be Team Rhodes?
Punk definitely felt like the team captain here.
It's his story.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was weird that Cody's... Actually, it turns out, what do you want to talk about? I want to talk about me being the captain.
So Cody, Punk, and Jey, and the reports are Roman will be added, and now Cena.
That is a stacked lineup. That's a nuts lineup.
That is a Mount Rushmore of modern WWE main eventers. And Jey Uso.
Who is main event. He's just on the end, just drawn a picture, just, glue that one on the end.
The sad thing is he'll likely have to start the match. That means boy's going to be gassed. But on the heel side, you've got Breaker, Reed, and Logan Paul.
That is not a stacked lineup.
And Austin Theory's reportedly going to be added.
Oh, we're raising the stakes here.
And Brock Lesnar, who is undoubtedly a huge star.
Massive.
Lesnar, Cena, Roman, Punk, and Cody. That is one of the biggest lineups you can have.
No, I think they should do this with the MFTs and the White Six inside War Games instead.
They deserve it. I'm not particularly enamored by the way we've got here. I'm much more into the women's War Games, which is a flip on how it usually is. Usually the women just get chucked together.
I was more into it until they added Nia and Lash, and I'm like, you're an unnecessary addition into this when it was probably going to be worked better if it was Raquel and Roxanne with Nikki and Stephanie on the babyface side of things, because those are stories that I really do I think coalesce. Whereas now you can't have Bayley and Lyra in the match. That sort of feels like
I thought Bayley and Lyra would be in it. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably going to be the teams, and they'll be announced on next week's big Madison Square Garden show.
Yeah.
We did get a recap package of Lash Legend and Nia attacking Charlotte and Alexa.
Cool team.
Last week.
It just feels a bit like, it's War Games time. We need to get some people together.
Meltzer called that as well, that Lash was going to be in the lineup.
Oh,
and
right.
everyone was like, Lash Legend.
He's wrong 100%.
That set up the interference later on, which was really good. Then we got Stephanie Vacquer versus Raquel Rodriguez.
I enjoyed this a lot. This was a good match.
It was fine. Joe Tessitore's letting expositioning. Come on in.
I was like, Nikki's turning heel at the end of this match. The way that Joe kept saying, what friends? the friendship, the blossoming friendship. They've got such a good friendship. Over the last few months, one of the strongest things about Stephanie Vacquer has been her friendship with Nikki Bella. I was like, she's so turning heel at the end of this.
Roxanne tried to interfere, so Nikki stopped her, and Joe screamed, "That's the epitome of loyalty and friendship."
Then when Roxanne attacked... So, Stephanie retained. When Roxanne attacked Stephanie after the match and Nikki made the save, Joe said, and I quote, "Thank goodness this friendship has developed."
But then Nikki is behind Stephanie. She gets the women's championship and clocks her over the back of the head, and she rips off her little red boob tube to reveal a smaller boob tube underneath, but this time it's black.
It's evil. She's a heel
the boobs turned heel. She's got bad boobs.
It's like when Mankind revealed himself as Cactus Jack in that promo with Triple H.
So sure.
Well, look, we've been building this for a while.
Too long? Feels like forever.
And yet at the same time, too quick.
Yeah. So I imagine this will be at Survivor Series.
I think they'll be in War Games. I think they'll be on opposite sides.
Okay, so they could be. Meltzer did say Becky and AJ Lee.
Oh, right. Okay, because that's why they're doing Becky and Maxine next week.
Yes.
Oh,
I could see it being
and that's
either.
what you're thinking. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's good. Because I couldn't think who would go on the babyface side and who'd be on the heel side. And I was like, maybe it would just be a 4-on-4. Yeah, Becky and AJ, that does make a whole mess of sense.
As much as the pervert in me, the pervert's the wrong word, the sicko.
Oh, for your blowjob.
The sicko in me wants to see Nikki Bella in a War Games match, just for the what? This doesn't belong. What?
I've got that a bit with Cena.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Becky AJ Lee, that feels like a more intense feud for War Games.
I mean, does it? I think Becky's got a more intense...
It's more intense than Stephanie Vacquer and Nikki Bella.
Becky's got a more intense feud with Maxine Dupree than she has with AJ Lee.
But yeah, so that's a match that's happening. We got a casino promo, this time from Cody's voiceover. Mm-hmm. Then we got Nakamura versus Sheamus. And it was just because I know the brackets aren't announced, but because Rusev advanced, I thought this was very predictably going to be Sheamus winning.
Yeah. That is if Rusev is facing Sheamus in the next round.
Oh, I think they will.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice if they just gave me some brackets to let me know those sorts of things.
They want it to be a thing. And yeah, they're nice to have stakes to the matches. This was decently hard hitting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was a fine match. Just Nakamura's a bit, I don't know, he's just there. He's just back.
Yeah. And he's a face again.
Yeah. Nakamura and Sheamus hugged afterwards. Then we got the announcements of other people in the Last Time Is Now tournament. I've written. So Javon Evans versus Gunther and Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent. And we'll find out next week at Madison Square Garden. And I've written in my notes, didn't make it in the script. Totally Vince McMahon. Get people talking.
I think he'll be there at the retirement.
And then the main event was really good. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss taking on the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag belts.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Great main event. Really good drama. We were talking about last week. I think I'm actually going to blame you slightly for this because you've sold me on this idea that it is going to be Charlotte and Alexa versus Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra and Bayley at WrestleMania X7, but in 42 in TLC. I was so into this three-way that I actually now am actively against Nia and Lash being part of it. Like, no, get away from all of this.
That's good. No, this is good. This is good because they can come in to elongate the feud in a good way.
As long as it's not within a four-way, because then you may as well just put 6 teams in there, which is where you'll end up going.
No, it needs to be 3 teams.
It needs to be 3 teams. I thought this match was awesome. Kabuki Warriors, but they just got such great chemistry all together. Kairi, but possibly less so. She felt a bit more off than everyone else did. But when it was like Alexa and Charlotte, when it was Asuka and Charlotte, I thought it was so good.
Yeah, Charlotte was, I can't believe how into her I am as a face. She was really good. She hit a moonsault on both of the Kabuki Warriors.
And not usually if you do it onto 2 people, that is all knees to one of them. Charlotte Flair hit them flush. It was beautifully done. Did you hear that she did the double crossbody, standing crossbody, and Joe Tessitore called it High Fly Flair?
Nice for Tanahashi.
Yeah, a little shout out to Tanahashi.
So Charlotte's got the figure 8 on Asuka, and Kairi comes to break it up, but Alexa does a Panama Sunrise Sister Abigail. It was awesome to cut off Kairi. Like, oh my God, this is going to be the end.
The retention.
Yeah. But Nia Jax and Lash Legend appear after the angle that was set up on SmackDown, and they break up the pin. Sorry, not the pin, the figure 8, which let Asuka get the win.
Yeah, well, it was Kairi got the win.
Sorry, did Kairi get the win?
Because they hit Skull and Crossbones with the insane elbows to get the win. I really didn't think they were going to win the titles. I was super surprised by this. Loved it. Loved the finish. Thought it was so good. And it's a nice, neat build to War Games. Also, fun fact, it means that Asuka has had a title in every year she has been in WWE.
Yeah, take that, Goldberg.
Maybe that'll be his next interview that he does.
I really like this. I think this is a division that has sort of just become fully formed in the last 3 weeks.
It's mad, isn't it?
And the Nia and Lash addition, I think, really complements it because there's no monster team in there. They're really physically imposing.
Yeah, really, like cool looking together. And Nia's now got all of her boob-based offense. So that, like, a couple of weeks ago, I joked because you were like, "This tag division's great." And I was like, "What division? It's 3 teams." The addition of this extra team, actually, even just with those 3 teams, it felt like fully formed. With an extra, I was like, "This feels genuinely brilliant." It's probably better than any of the men's tag stuff that's going on.
Definitely. I think they could hot potato in a good way.
Yes.
I'm totally fine with this belt changing between these 3 teams because they're so like neck and neck for ages. With Bayley and Lyra, of course, who weren't involved in this. Because what happened, the heels ganged up, they beat up Charlotte and Alexa. Io Sky runs down. Really nice to see her back. I feel like we've not seen her for a while.
She did the finger point
and then Rhea Ripley runs down, complete with face mask for the broken nose. Hits a razor's edge on Kairi over the top rope onto everyone outside. And then Rhea screams War Games.
Yeah.
4-on-4, that would make it, which probably means there will be 2, one person out on either side.
And yeah, I in my head it was Stephanie and Nikki, but yeah, you're probably right if Meltzer's report is correct. Actually, AJ and Becky makes more sense if your main goal of Survivor Series, because the report is the reason to put Cena in War Games is to sell tickets. Cena versus Dom for the IC title will sell some tickets, but Cena teaming with Punk, Cody, and Roman, that is like, it's dream team stuff right there. Like that is going to sell more tickets. So AJ being in the War Games team, that's a ticket seller. Like that's a needle mover.
Yeah, really excited for that. It's a good, I feel like WWE, even in their good episodes recently, which other people have enjoyed, we've been a bit jaded by. Like, oh, who cares? This felt like a real uptick in business.
I completely agree. Like the second you just start putting a bunch of stars in some big matches, the whole company just feels alive. But I mean, probably a lot of those stars are all part-timers, but at least they're here. And the part-timers, the schedules will come together. And it is exciting for Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's proper Avengers assemble moment. And Brock Lesnar starring as Thanos. But thank you for joining us here today. Please go over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk, where you can get up to date with all of the Monday Night War Attitude Era series so far. We just did SummerSlam. That's available to watch publicly on Parts Unknown. But how many? We must be 12 episodes in now.
Up to episode 11 over on Patreon. So you can go watch the pay-per-view episode and the next week's episode, episode 11, along with the trays in the middle as well. It's what a fun. I had such a good time filming that. It feels weird as well because we filmed it so long ago now that it feels like this distant memory, but then I just see clips of it. And it was so much fun too. Yeah.
So that's on the $6.50 tier. Just for $6.50, we can watch 12 hours of videos. That's the whole series. We're halfway through that series now. So it's a good time to get on board. But for now, I've been Ollie Davis. This has been Luke Owen, DAD. Jam that jam. We'll see you Thursday.
Jam that jam.
Friday.